Good morning and welcome to the morning show with Angel and Tina. Happy Friday, Tina. How are you doing?
Thank God it's Friday.
It
Now,
kind of is.
today, you got a little alfalfa sprout hanging out.
Oh. Oh. Oh, where's it streaming? All right. Yeah, we are so excited it's Friday. And apparently we need our weekend because we're just like Maribel's here. We're acting like hungry school kids, kind of whining. Poor Maribel. She's like, "Do you need some orange juice or something, Chef Maribel?"
I think you guys need a Snickers bar. You know that little Snickers commercial where people are acting crazy and acting like a diva? That would be me and Angel this morning.
That was good us. We're like, oh, rare, rare,
Well,
rare.
yesterday, we already thought yesterday was a Friday. And then today I woke up, I'm like, oh, thank God today's Friday. And I don't know why, because I'm like, the only thing different about Saturday and Sunday is that I don't get dressed.
Which you only get half dressed now.
So. You only get half dressed. It doesn't take that much of a it's not that much of a big task. It's not like it takes me 3 hours to get dressed. And it takes me 30 minutes now because I have a lot of tips and tricks that people don't know about that makes my time go from an hour and a half to
super
30
fast.
minutes. So yeah. I only dressed half.
What is different about tomorrow? I don't know, but apparently we need a day off, right? And or some breakfast, something has to. We need to turn it around. But it's Friday, and we have Chef Maribel in the kitchen with us again. I'm so excited to have you here this morning, Maribel. And
I love Fridays with Maribel because
thank you.
Even though when you have a real morning show, you get a little you
taste
that little hand that comes and you're like, oh, well, thank you. Even though I do it, I feel like we're in her kitchen with Chef Maribel. Chef Maribel, what are we cooking today?
Well, we are still in January, right? We're trying to eat healthier, reduce our sugar from what Angel says, sugar month of December, right? With all the cookies and whatnot. So
we both are going saying we need a Snickers bar.
So I'm doing what I love to have. This is great for one person, two people. You can make it big. It's basically a quinoa casserole, and I put an egg on top, and
not an egg.
yeah. And so we're going to put that together. This dish, actually, I used to have on my menu for breakfast. It's a great comforting dish. So we're going to go through that whole step.
I love
it. Yay.
I'm excited. And I don't know about you, but I don't really do New Year's resolutions. I just try to change my habits.
Yeah.
And so many people have been already telling me, oh, my New Year's resolutions are out the window. So
already?
For those of you, yes. For those of you guys,
people have some stamina.
They do it for 2 weeks and they're like, we're not doing it anymore.
We got to bolster.
Yeah. Okay, so if you guys are watching, I want to know what some of your resolutions are. And are you guys still doing them? Are you guys still actually doing them?
So I know I am.
What was your New Year's resolution?
Well, they're not really resolutions. It's more like reboot, restart, up the ante of where reset, and it's just always the usual, more veggies, more plant-based for me, low fat, but delicious. That's it. And more exercise.
We had Jose Zavala on our show earlier this week, and he is with Keto, and he does everything Mexican food, but keto style.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And we were like, how?
Yeah. No corn tortillas?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I was like, okay, so how are you doing this?
Yeah, I can never be keto because I like my quinoa and I like my corn tortillas. So I have one of two worlds, South America and Mexico. I'm half. I'm Bolivian and I'm also Mexican. So I like to honor those two foods that are ancient. They're centuries old, and it worked for them. So I'm gonna hope it's gonna work for me, just as long as I keep my exercise up. That's the big thing, and I think it's working.
yeah, the exercises, it is a huge thing. My husband and I went to the Keys last weekend,
Oh,
and
nice.
there was all this yummy, like there's key lime pie and lobster mac and cheese, like all these really yummy things. And I'm like, I need to exercise more so I can order what I want off a menu.
Right.
I look at all that yummy stuff. I'm like, I need to eat a salad, right? I need more veggies. I need to eat, right? And
And you
so,
go into the restaurant and you're like, okay, I'm gonna get a salad. It sounds so good. And then you open the thing and it's like appetizer. You ooh, lobster, ooh, this, ooh.
Yeah.
Like I want this.
right? And it is. So exercise is like, I mean, truly, I wish I could eat my way to skinny. Like, I think we all wish like that we could. But
Well,
exercise is going to be the thing that has to counter. If I'm going to put it in my
yeah.
mouth, I got to take it off my hips.
I actually used to be, when they used to call it, I actually used to be an aerobics instructor. So I did group exercise. I'm really into
Oh my gosh,
fitness.
Maribel, I cannot picture you as an aerobics instructor.
I
With
was.
your
I
head
was.
down in your hair.
Have
I
Dan
wore.
leg warmers?
I. You know what?
Like
My
that was
son.
early 80s, Angel. Like
Yeah.
that was like 80s style with the
But
leg
even
covers.
even into the early 90s, which is when I was like, piping young chicken of 18, 19 when I got trained. I put on the freshman 15, and actually in Denver, I was going to school in Denver, and the school was like, hey, you can work like a work study, and I worked in the recreation center, and it was a really nice fitness center, and they're like, hey, we're training people to be a group exercise instructor. Do you want to do that? And I'm like, yeah, I want to just like, it made me exercise more. And turns out I was actually pretty good. So yeah, I got rid of the freshman 15, and then I was back to that, and then I went pro for like about 10 years.
You were
and
a professional aerobics
Yeah.
instructor?
I was.
Okay.
I was.
If you guys have videos, we need videos.
I know. I wish I had some. But I was like, I didn't have the thong up my butt, but that's what was still in style, actually.
Right? Like the tights and the thong at the butt and the like, oh my God.
Yeah. I actually, what was happening was they would have like biker shorts. So I would wear like biker shorts and then like a very fashionable bra top, and that was it. But it wasn't like a thong up my butt or whatever.
See, now today it's like very, very little clothes. It's like your leggings that lift your booty.
Yeah.
Those
I would have loved. I would have loved
those like
leggings.
TikTok leggings that like lift your booty, and then like the little bra tops. And I'm like, yo, I can't wear that stuff.
so
I
anyway,
can't wear that stuff.
I ate whatever I wanted because I exercised, probably not because I needed to, but because I've always liked fitness. I would exercise at least 2 hours a day, at least.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I would go running. If I didn't run, then I needed to get some cardio in. And if I didn't teach my class, then I would go running. And if I taught my class, then I would do weights, and I would be like that gym, aerobics girl in the weight room.
And that's 5, 4,
yeah.
3.
But I hated that. That's why I don't go back to the gym, because I hated that, because they're looking at you. I mean, I would look at me, because my booty was big, and so I mean, come on, I'm gonna look at some dude.
Definitely not going to the gym now.
Yeah, I don't go to the gym. I'm all about exercising at home, exercise outside, exercise. We have beautiful green belts here.
Tie something around my waist too, because I don't know, you just feel weird.
Yeah. Well, it's human nature. I mean, I'm gonna look at the dude too. It's like so, we're human. Anyways, I digress. So we need to get.
We always digress here on the show.
So let's get cooking.
Let's get cooking. We are back. She's like, let's get digress a lot on the show, especially if it talks about guys. But we are talking about how to stay fit in the kitchen with Chef Maribel today.
Yes, we want to stay heart healthy. We want to be active and vital. So I like to cook. I like to eat. I like all the things, but we got to have a balance. So I have what I'm going to do first. I don't have a finished product because thankfully we have this show and we can do it all at once. I have a saute pan, which I'm going to infuse some flavors. That's what we do. We had some heart healthy olive oil. My pan's already warm. Look at that.
Whoa, look at that. How so pretty.
Oh, that looks so good. It's just olive oil. We're like, ooh.
I did add a little bit of knob of butter just to add a little flavor. And honestly, I do that anyways because the butter will burn. I don't want to exactly burn it. And I'm going to add aromatics, which include onion, which I already cut up. And that's about 1 to 2 tablespoons of red onion. You can use white onion, yellow onion. I actually like red onion.
I like the red onions too.
I like the color. And so carrots, celery, that gives me like a...
You've got them chopped up, right? Pretty good. They're
Yes.
little. Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty little, you know, and then I'm gonna add my red bell pepper because
all those beautiful colors,
right? So we gotta spice up our breakfast or our dinner, whatever, and keep it interesting. And then I'm gonna add a pinch of salt because salt will help release a little bit of the water from the vegetables. And then once the heat is working its magic on the vegetables, all those flavors.
Pink Himalayan salt?
No, I use regular kosher salt and sea salt usually, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm cooking something like this, you know, I want to not go as heavy with the sea salt.
Right there, Angel.
I know this. Like, I can start to smell it. Like my mind is like, I know what those smells sound like or what that is.
Right. You could add garlic here if you wanted. I'm gonna keep it not as intense, but I love red bell pepper because it's kind of sweet. It adds a little bit of umami. You can even add tomato here. I mean, there's many options, but my base flavor is the onions, carrots, and celery. And I did cut it fine because I don't want it to be the main, like, I don't want a big crunch of any of those things. I want my quinoa to stand out. So that's why I do it kind of small. And in my cooking classes, you could, you know, I'm always showing people how to break down vegetables. So we get those, you know, pretty cuts and desired. It's not only for the looks, it's actually because, like I said, I want the quinoa to stand out, not, I want the flavor of the vegetables, but you know, you need to have that balance, but we need some skills first, right? So,
you're gonna add garlic.
Well, I could, you know, I could add garlic powder or fresh garlic. I'm going to keep it like kind of mellow. And because my quinoa is not, like I said, it's a very neutral grain. So I'm going to use white and red. I like the red quinoa because it has beautiful color, but we have to cook it. And it's actually, it'll take like 12 minutes. So by the time we get everything together, it'll be all perfect. But I do have white quinoa already cooked. So, but I want to show you, the best way to cook perfect quinoa is first you have to rinse it. Like you're gonna put it underneath the faucet. I already rinsed everything, and you just there's like a coating on quinoa called saponin, saponin, and it makes the grain kind of bitter. But they've come a long way because usually a quinoa has this already taken off, you know, but it's always best to just kind of rinse it anyways to get that bitter flavor out. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this to boiling water. You don't want to bring the quinoa up from cold to hot. You want the water to be boiling, or broth, even better to add flavor. Because every chance that you're cooking something, you do want to add flavor to it. But I actually have vegetable broth that we're going to add to our mix of sauteed veggies that are they're just sweating and hanging out there. And I'm going to add this red quinoa to boiling water that's already boiling. And I've already rinsed it.
Maribel, tell everybody what quinoa is. What is it? Is it like more of a rice? Is it more of a?
It's actually a seed. It's a seed. It's a seed from the grain of the plant quinoa. It's beautiful. It like grows tall like a bluebonnet. And so you have these tall stalks in the beautiful highlands of the Andes Mountains. And there's red, there's white quinoa colors, and the red just a little nuttier. So
it's like a healthier alternative, right? To
the benefits of quinoa are that if you are vegetarian or vegan, it is one of the few, there's a few other grains and seeds that are like they have all the B12 vitamins that we get from meat. So that's why we have protein in our diet, because we need the B12 vitamins. It's a complete protein, what they call a complete protein. It has all the amino acids that we need daily, right? So quinoa is one of the few, amaranth is another one, that has all these B12 vitamins. So that's perfect for a vegetarian or vegan person, or someone who wants, you know, high protein, keto friendly, I would think, but diet. So high protein diet, or they need to substitute this for meat. So it's low fat. it's no fat. So that's the beauty of quinoa, and that's why it became so popular and a superfood. It's an ancient grain. So let me put on my timer as I'm looking at my quinoa. That's why it's so popular, and it got so popular that they basically, both in Bolivia and Peru, they sold so much of it that the government didn't subsidize their farmers so that they could afford their own fruits of labor. And so there was a lot of propaganda, news media that would talk about quinoa like, oh, kind of like giving a guilt trip, you know, we're eating up all the quinoa, we're raising up the prices, the locals can't even eat their own quinoa. So, and that's true. But the other part that wasn't reported is that much like Mexico has always subsidized corn tortillas for the people that grow it, like corn to grow it and subsidize, just like we do in America for growing whatever it is that they grow. The government didn't help support their farmers. And so that was an imbalance, not our fault. So that's why I'm always like, okay, you guys, you don't know the whole story. There's always another side of the story.
Isn't there? Always is.
Yeah.
Always.
So I'm still a very big proponent of quinoa. And I think at one point people really didn't know how to cook it. You really needed to rinse it. You needed to get that bitter taste out of the quinoa, but it's really filling and satiating without being heavy. And that's like pretty rare. However, we are going to use cheese and cream today. just a little bit. I mean, come on, we're going to substitute
we got some Mexican in here. We got to have cheese.
So our vegetables, I mean, they smell so good right now. Just the olive oil and the vegetables. And so what I'm going to do, while our quinoa is cooking, our red quinoa, I'm going to kind of season this with a broth that I already have coming. I didn't have any broth, so I just put together a really quick veggie broth, which is, again, onions, celery, carrots, some aromatics like black peppercorn, a bay leaf, and I get a broth. So this would be so easier, so fast than purchasing it, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to add that to our mix. So I have that, and then the other key ingredient, even better, is turmeric. So we're going to add turmeric to our mix here.
And that's turmeric is so good for inflammation.
Yeah, anti-inflammatory. It's a beautiful color.
That was part of one of my little remedies that somebody gave me this week with my kidney stones. They're like,
Yeah,
a teaspoon of turmeric with this and honey, and I'm like, ugh.
yeah, you have, yeah. It's not the best flavor. You kind of have to cook it out. Kind of. I like to mix it with ginger. And ginger has great properties as well. So if you're gonna use turmeric, like fresh turmeric, I would recommend, then you can mix it with ginger into a tea with lemon. Yeah, so I have that mixed in, and that's going to give us a beautiful color. I'm going to, before I add the cream, I want to saute my quinoa, and my red quinoa.
About this visual of your stove is perfect.
Good.
I feel like I'm right there.
Good. So I have my quinoa still boiling. It's almost ready. I should have already had that red quinoa cooked, but I have my white quinoa. How are we on time?
We're good. You got 40 minutes. Well, about 30 minutes.
Okay. So I'm kind of waiting to add my quinoa to this, because when I add it to this mix, it's going to get a little bit toasty. So that's another added benefit to sauteing this all together. And then we're going to put it into a little like a little tart shell or ramekin or something, and we're going to
that tart shell coming out again.
Yeah, I gotta use my stuff
for everything.
Yeah,
you guys who are just tuning in, we are making a quinoa casserole that you can have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Yeah, all of those things. We added onion, celery, carrots. We just added some turmeric. You can, like I said, you could add garlic. This is like anti-inflammatory. It's a beautiful color too when I add the cream and also the veggie stock, which is what I'm going to do. And at the end, we will add a little bit of cheese to put it in the oven.
I love that you are still adding, even though this is heart healthy and we're thinking, we've got to add more vegetables. Like, we tend to take out a lot of these things that add flavor. We don't use butter. We don't use oil. We don't use cream. We don't do cheese. Like, we're taking out all of this stuff, but, but it can still, like, you can have a little bit in there, and it can still be healthy.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
just a little bit.
But it's like giving us a little bit of permission, right? Like, you don't have to remove and go, which allows you to stay stick with it longer, right? You don't have to give up, because
you're not depriving yourself of all this good food. I mean, if you're a cheese person, like I am a cheese lover, like
me too,
and bread.
You can't just swing this pendulum. And this is where, you start this year and you're like, I'm going to exercise 2 hours a day. Well, why don't you start with 5 minutes, right? Like, do you even exercise now? I'm going to, do all this stuff, and you're swinging the pendulum. So of course you're setting yourself up to fail, right? But these recipes, these ingredients that you're including here, Maribel, I'm watching this going, well, shoot, this doesn't even feel like we're making a big sweeping change. Yet we are, but it's like sneaky tricking my brain.
Because you're gonna have that
goals and breaking them down little bit bite-sized pieces, and that's how you can get further in life. You can't say, okay, well, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds in the next 6 months, and I'm gonna cut out pasta and bread and cheese and this and this. Why don't you just do small mini habits, mini steps, and then that way you can build yourself up.
So the quinoa, like I said, it's filling. We want kind of bulk, but it's also good fiber. So that's another benefit. I think people forget about fiber, especially as you age. That's always an important thing to take into account. And that's why more vegetables in your diet. For me, grains and things, nuts help with your daily go about, and you know what I mean. And it keeps things functioning like oil in a machine. Yeah, you gotta keep going. We are a machine. We are like a working machine, and we got to keep it tuned up, oiled up. And so these are like tried and true. They're nothing too controversial about it, other than people have added stuff. But every different
so
strokes.
you're making red quinoa. There's white quinoa. So what is the difference between red and white?
Okay, so for me, I like the nuttiness of the red quinoa.
Okay.
It also adds color and interest to my mix, but I find that it is you have to cook it separately because the red quinoa takes longer. So if I have water boiling, which I had already boiling before we started, and I added it to my sauce pot, then for me it takes 12 minutes on my stove. Okay, everyone's.
Is it almost like the difference between cooking brown rice and white rice? Like the brown rice takes longer than the white rice.
Exactly.
And it's nuttier than the white rice.
Yeah, exactly. And the white quinoa is right. Exactly. That's a very good point. The white quinoa is it cooks faster. So for me, it's 7 minutes. Because the lighting is not that great to show the difference, but when you cook quinoa, you want it fluffy, just like you would rice. So it's best to cook it right when you see a ring, and you can see it better on the red quinoa, which is why I wanted to show you straight from cooking it. The white quinoa, there's like a little extra coloration, a ring around the quinoa, and that's when you know it's ready. And then you need to take it out. So what I do, this dish, I have about 5 dishes that I make with quinoa. So this cooked quinoa, I think I mentioned it last week. I'll add it to almond milk, nuts, and make a porridge out of it, which is what they do there in Peru and Bolivia. But then you can also cook with it like you can eat it like a salad and add dressing to it. You can make it into a casserole like we're about to do. Everything that you would do like for pasta or if you think in those terms, you can make it versatile.
Well, Maribel, we are getting great reviews on our cooking show, right? They just love the cooking segments of the Angel and Tina Morning Show. I think you bring such energy, and what a great experience. Thanks. And something, flavorful, right? You add more flavor to our show. So you have some big fans out there.
Our show.
Thank you.
You are definitely coming back next month.
Yes.
Continuation of the Angel and Tina Morning Show cooking segment with Chef Maribel. We got to take a quick commercial break while she is finishing the quinoa casserole that you can have whatever day of the week and whatever time of the day. We'll be right back.
Well, hold on, Tina. Like you threw it, and I'm like, I don't have it pulled up. No, we're not.
I was like, come on, next Friday. We got to get chopping.
Yeah. I messed up my screen. Hold on.
It's okay. All right, Chef Maribel, what do you think you're going to be cooking next month? So it's the month of love, Valentine's.
Well, we should do something.
You're going to be cooking the last 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, maybe we can do like a dessert.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah, and maybe like a love aphrodisiac appetizer.
Oh. I'm gonna need that one.
Right? We all need it.
All
right, I'm gonna give this back to Angel.
Okay, I'm ready. Yeah, so you guys know I have this great big monitor that's like this big and a second monitor. So when I pull stuff up, it's like hidden behind other things, and I move it all around. It actually looks like a real desk, like there's papers everywhere. But anyways, it is time to say thank you to the sponsors of the Angel and Tina Morning Show, Zondra TV Network. We are digitally streamed on 7 streaming platforms: Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, Android, Chromecast. If you've ever thought about having your own TV show, schedule a discovery call by going to beonztv.com. Everybody's starting a show. I have a show. You have a show. Get your own show by joining the Zondra TV Network. They've got an amazing platform, producers incubator to watch you step by step, everything it takes to be a fabulous TV show producer. Bliss by the Lake Boutique is our clothing sponsor. You can follow them on social media. They get fresh inventory in every single week. Some of the most fabulous items, right? You just have to shop at Bliss by the Lake Boutique, and they ship globally. Sonic Virtual Assistant, taking your videos and taking them up a notch, right? Create that raw video footage and let somebody else do all of the editing and the uploading and all of the fun little pieces that make a real good video, like a really great video, using the power of YouTube to grow your business, to be more visible in the marketplace. And Sonic VA is your video assistant. Check them out when you go to sonicva.com/video. And when you mention the Angel and Tina Morning Show, they are going to give you a 10% discount off your first 5 videos. All 5 first videos, 10% discount. Go to sonicva.com/video, and let's upload and leverage YouTube as your video marketing partner. Those are our sponsors. It is Chef Maribel Friday. We are cooking healthy, keeping your goals without like sacrificing flavor and taste and fun in the kitchen. And Maribel, you're just we needed you this morning. We were gritty. I mean, we were like.
So do you know today is our last show for January? Like January's done. Monday is February 1st.
Wow.
Seriously, we blinked and January was over.
I feel like I blinked and 2020 was over. I'm like I feel like because we talk every day, you and I, we haven't seen each other. So next month, the end of February was the last time we actually seen each other physically. But I was like, dang, that was almost a year ago. Like it went by so fast.
It is kind of amazing.
I was looking down and somebody was like, hey, do you have February 1st open? I was like, yeah, but that's so far away. And they're like, it's Monday. I went,
Monday.
What?
I know somebody was saying something to me the other day about, they're starting it on February 1st. Yesterday, they were saying they start February 1st. That's Monday, right? Like it is. January was a blur, right? You remember we were like, what day of the week is it? And it was Blur's Day. Well, what month is it? You know, it's Blursuary, right? It is pretty crazy. I think we just hit the ground running with so much momentum. There was already there. We didn't really have that lull that you normally have at the end of the year. We just worked right through it. And so we hit the ground running. We've got all these new programs that we're starting. The Connect Summit is getting ready to kick off.
Excited. But Angel, I gotta tell you something.
What?
So you don't know this. So remember I told you this, they wanted me, somebody was gonna send me out to San Antonio to speak to their clients and stuff. Well, they called me yesterday, her assistant, and they're like, okay, we got your plane ticket, we got your hotel, we got this, we got all this stuff, we're gonna rent you a car. And I'm like, okay, great. It's February 21st through the 25th. She goes, we want you an extra day because we want to take you here, 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 here. I'm like, okay, sounds great. And I'm looking at my calendar and I'm like, oh, shoot. I have the Connect Summit that day. I'm going to have to be doing the Connect Summit from the hotel room.
Well, how are you going to do that if you are training and teaching this group?
Well, training and teaching on Tuesday. The Connect Summit is Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to be doing the Connect Summit from the hotel room on Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
I leave like Thursday.
Okay. All right. Well.
I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. Fly me out. I'll be this. I'll do this. And she's like, can you bring 50 books? And I'm like, yeah, I'll just send them to you. Yada, yada. And I go back to my calendar and I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah, we used to, right? Now you've got like all these things. So the Connect Summit. So for our audience, put on your calendar right now, save the date. It's the last
year.
For the rest of the year, we have the dates for the entire year. It's the last Wednesday of the month. So that's February 24th, March 31st. So it's the last Wednesday, April 28th, May 26th, June 30th, July 28th. So always the last Wednesday, except for November. And in November, we've pushed it to December 8th. So there are 10 Connect Summits this year. We have 30 speakers on our Connect Summit
I
speaker
am so
team.
excited that we changed our thing around and we're having a speaker series this time. So every month it's going to be focused on something that you need to do in your business, whether it's finances and getting systems in place or marketing or video or whatever it is, there's a different thing. So by the end of this year, 2021, if you come to every single Connect Summit and you just take a whole notebook of notes, you're going to
Which
have.
we will provide for you, right?
Oh,
So you get.
we are going to provide you a notebook. It's going to be a work. We're up leveling up.
We're definitely leveling up. We're definitely leveling up. So we have a full team of speakers to serve you. You'll have a workbook. There's prizes. There's a theme, series that is themed out so that each one builds upon each other. So by the end of the year, you just have this great, like everything you need all year long to connect and to grow your business.
And we have a lot of fun on the Connect Summits too. There's a lot of networking going on, a lot of connections going on, a lot of collaborations going on in the back rooms there. We have our rooms that we put you in where we can network and everything. We have a lot of fun. At the end of each Connect Summit, we do an afterglow party where that's where the party really begins. Everybody gets their cocktail, what was our drink called? The Angel Tina Teeny? Tina Teeny? Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Was it our names?
Our Angel, yeah, it was our names put together like a martini.
Huh.
But it was pink, of course.
Okay.
So we have that. So we're gonna have to put that in the workbook too.
Oh yeah, the recipe for that. Yes.
Yeah.
So
you made it when you got your own drink named after you.
That was a highlight, right, of our career. We have a martini or a drink named after us.
We made it.
So yeah, it is coming up, and our first one is at the end of February, 2 to 7 p.m. Eastern time. It is our financial and systems series. So everything to put the systems in place that you'll need, right? We talk about automation, delegation, and exposuration. Those a made up word of mine. Yeah, that's my made up word. I've been using that. Well, watch exposuration now become like people are going to start using it.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be my next book. Exposuration.
Go buy hurry, go on GoDaddy right now. All right, Chef Maribel, how are we doing over there in the kitchen?
Well, sorry, I wanted to, I didn't, time. I sauteed everything together, and that included all my veggies, the quinoa, and let me show you the quinoa. I don't know if you can see that red little, you can't, but there's,
oh yeah, we can.
Okay, there's like a little red ring around the red quinoa, and I sauteed it with hopefully people could see the screen as well. I sauteed it with everything together, just until it starts popping. It gets like kind of crispy. And then I added a little bit of broth, a little bit of cream, got that nice and bubbly and creamy and delicious. And then I just put it in my little quiche tart, and I just added a few pieces of melting cheese. This is actually Oaxacan cheese, and I topped it with shavings of Parmesan, which I'm going to put in the broiler. And then I'm adding an egg on top because it's oh so beautiful.
Oh, it's like that when you make the toast with the egg in it.
Oh, it's called, what's it called? It's called
like bird in a nest
or bird in a basket or what?
Yeah,
it's called something weird.
So
yeah,
but it's like that looks so good and so
right. Yeah, so it's definitely a worthwhile meal to have. And I am going to put this in my broiler, which is at the bottom of my oven. And I'm going to time it for 3 minutes, and it should be ready.
You're making all of our audience members very hungry right now, Chef.
And I'll have the recipe. I'm going to put on my blog, and then I'll share the link on the Facebook and whatever else you want to share it with. So please,
make sure you guys are following the Angel and Tina page, because every week Chef Maribel gets to put her weekly recipe up, and gets to showcase a new recipe that you guys can add, because so many of us, since we are all under pandemic, I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of moms out there were like, okay, I'm making the same 10 things. I need new recipes.
I guarantee you that kids like this dish, because at the restaurant I mean, you can omit the egg, but a lot of kids like scrambled eggs better. We would do that. But I mean, the beauty of a sunny side egg is that it's like a built-in cream. It's like creamy and delicious. So that's extra protein for somebody who's vegetarian. So I have my timer going, and and that was it. So I usually have leftover quinoa in the refrigerator. It does take a little bit of sauteing to bring it together. I always have some kind of broth, but I'm minutes away from having a vegetable broth that you only need to simmer those vegetables, like I said, carrot, onion, and celery together with a little bit of whole peppercorn and a bay leaf, and that'll give you flavor injected like a broth. You can use chicken broth for sure, or beef broth to make it, tastier. And those are your ways to kind of watch your salt intake. Okay. And that's another benefit, right? So then I add that every time I'm adding an ingredient, I'm always thinking about how am I going to add flavor to this ingredient. So every step will have some kind of flavor infused. And then I put it together with a little bit of cream. It was like probably a tablespoon. And then the broth. This is perfect for one, but like I said, you can make a lot. You can make a whole pan, and then plop it in front of everyone and just let everyone scoop it out.
Leftovers, like, is it good to put in the refrigerator and just kind of eat during the week?
Yes, you could totally reheat this and put it in the broiler
minus the egg, probably.
Yeah, minus the egg. And you can omit the cheese, and you just add a little bit more broth. But I mean, the cheese is what holds it together and makes it like a casserole. So here we go, 16 minutes, 16 seconds left, not minutes, and that's it. So people, I show you not only in my cooking program, cooking club membership, ways to cook things, recipes, but it's not really just about the recipe. It's about understanding at what level you're adding, you're building those flavors. Because I think that's where people get kind of stomped on, I'm cooking the same thing, but it's really like, let's learn this method, and this is how you can repeat it and tweak it for the next ingredient that you use.
Show them the different things that they can add. You can add this instead of this. If you don't have this, you can use this. And I think that is when you know that you're a good chef, when you go, oh, you know what, I don't have that, but I can use this and this, and it makes it the same type of flavor.
And it's just a little bit of guidance that honestly, my mom made sure that I was in the kitchen to learn, but you just learn by doing. And if you have, you can learn a lot by doing recipes, but it's even better when you have somebody guiding you to like really accomplish some nice meals, some hearty get-togethers, since we're at home more now. And I don't think people were as equipped before to do that. So, and you're going to save money. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, so how can people join your cooking club?
So it's on my website. It's called Club Cocina. And they can go to my website, COCINA Maribel, MARIBEL. So cocinamaribel.com. And it's called Club Cocina. And there's 2 levels. They can sign up for one that is a little bit higher tier and more consultation with me. And then the other one that is, everything is recorded. There's 1 live class per month. So even that live class is recorded if people are like, I'm not sure I can make it. But I'm every week I'm giving you a personalized, like, this is what we learned. This is how we're going to carry it on to the next month. And hopefully by the end of the year, we really have like a graduation, and that's Thanksgiving. Because, we talked about.
It is like the graduation. If you can make a Thanksgiving dinner all completely made and all come out hot at the same time.
Yeah.
You know you have made it.
You
Oh
have made it.
my
Every
goodness. Spotlight this because that looks
Oh.
amazing.
yeah.
Oh.
So you know, this dish is like really comforting for me. And it's it got a little crunchy there, which is nice. And so, you know, you break your egg and you have extra sauce in there. So,
Oh.
so good. It's hot, so I'm not even gonna try it.
Just over there.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's
yeah, baby.
so that's my quinoa casserole. It's called pastel, which is the word for like a casserole in South America. So a pastel.
Maribel, where are you at in Texas? In San Antonio?
In Austin.
In Austin. Okay, I'm going to San Antonio next week. I mean, next
well,
month.
Yeah, that's great because I mean it's only an hour and away from Austin. I grew up in San Antonio. So yeah, that's like obviously my home base. It would be great to meet you, but we'll see.
We feel like besties already, right?
Yeah.
That looks so good.
Have you ever been to San Antonio?
I have never been to San Antonio, but
it's a very nice city to
20
visit.
of my good friends who live there. So I started texting them the other day and they're like, I want to take you here. I was like, oh, maybe I should have done that because then I looked at my calendar and I was like, oh, now I got to do the connection. I just totally forgot. Like, I was like, yeah, because I figured
you're going to have to stay an extra day.
Well,
yes.
I was like, the 24th is the third week, right? Like in my head, I was like, yeah, there's another week in there. The Connect Summit has to be like on the 30th.
Yeah.
But no. Look at that angel. Look at
So I'm gonna have to take a bite for you guys.
You're gonna definitely have to take a bite.
She's so good. This is my breakfast. You know what I love about this dish? Like I said, it's like filling without being heavy, and it's comforting like a casserole. So it has. So I'm gonna put up the recipe
in stereo.
So I'm gonna put up the recipe, and hopefully, you
try
it.
Everybody's saying, put the recipe. Their mouth
Okay.
Watering. Oh my gosh, what an amazing, I think that might just be my favorite dish so far.
It is, it's pretty yummy. And it's not because I just made it, but the flavors just come together.
You could tell, I mean, from the everything you put in had good flavor, like the ingredients, we all can imagine that, and you put them together. And you put nothing was real heavy. There wasn't a whole lot of any one thing, but the mixture of it, like we can start to imagine that. And watching the bubbles and I mean, from the very beginning, when you poured that olive oil in to pulling it out of the oven, Maribel, this one's gonna be a pinner, right? Like pin this one. It kind of is. I'm like pulling over here. This is one you want to pin to the top for sure. But Maribel comes in and she just, she pulls all these ingredients together, and she shows up on Fridays and has been now for months, November, December, January. And so we would just love for you to support her, go and follow her, grab her recipes, share what she's doing. This is what we're really creating, is this community of support, like leaning in for each other, cheering for each other. Because when we all support each other's successes and celebrate each other's successes, there's more room at the top. I think about, some of the different things that I hear about, people, kind of like just out there grabbing, right? Taking, and scarcity mentality. And there's so much room here to support each other, to lift each other up. And so Maribel coming in, what she's doing for you guys, like she doesn't have to, she could go and do this for somebody else, right? She could do it for her own, but she comes in to serve the Angel and Tina Morning Show community. And the way that we say thank you back to her is go and follow her and check out her club.
I know a couple of my followers out there are on watching. If you can put cocinamaribel.com in the comments, go to her website, follow her, go to her page, take one of her cooking classes. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, she
Yeah.
has, what do you have coming up? A Mexican?
Oh yeah. So in March, I'll be advertising to do a Mexican course, like a basics Mexican course.
Just in time for Cinco de Mayo.
So and it'll be like all downloadable videos, and it'll be like a 5-course menu. But it'll include like all the salsas that you should have. You know, the idea is like, just like Thanksgiving, where you have all the sides and all the things, you know, this is what I'm going to show as well for like a basic Mexican course that hopefully people, if they don't know already, then they will know how to do.
Like my mouth is watering for that, because I love me some Mexican food, boy.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, for instance, for enchiladas, a lot of people don't do them because they don't look like you would get in a restaurant, but because they fall apart. And it is all about finding the right corn tortilla. There's actually a specific corn tortilla you need for enchiladas. And so otherwise they fall apart and it's like a big old mush, you know, and it still tastes delicious, but it's, come on, you know, you want it to look like the restaurant if you're going to put all that effort, because no joke, Mexican food is very laborious. It's very affordable, but very laborious.
And very, very like, it has the best flavor. It's the most flavored I've ever, a favorite kind of food. I'm just, my mouth is like water. I can't even talk. Thank you so much, Dagmar Torres, for pushing out her website for her, Cocina Maribel.
Thank you.
We got that. Yes, there she has a Mexican food class. They're asking, is this a food class?
Yeah, it's going to be a class.
CocinaMaribel.com. You can see all about it. Sign up for her Mexican 5-course. Good. Oh,
yeah.
5-course.
So, I mean, they can follow me on Instagram, because that's, or, I mean, it's also linked with my Facebook. Everything I do on my Instagram, it's linked to my Facebook, whichever works for you. But I'm always doing daily tips for cooking on my Instagram stories. I did one on my refrigerator yesterday, because I like labeled everything.
Refrigerator?
Yeah, you guys want to see?
Yeah. I keep telling you, I want to tour your kitchen.
Field trip.
Okay.
Going on a field trip. Let me spotlight it for you.
We're gonna take the Joby to my refrigerator. First of all, folks,
my goodness,
you gotta start with your inventory of what I just went to the grocery store, so I bought for like 2 weeks. I have at least a week and a half of food.
Oh my God, Maribel, you are the most organized person I've ever met.
What's for dinner? I just did butternut squash, and
chili rellenos. What time are you having the chili rellenos?
It's like being at the restaurant, right? It's exactly. Got her menu and her.
It's at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock. Chili rellenos are oh my gosh, look at her refrigerator.
Yeah, look at this small refrigerator. KitchenAid, Samsung, help a chef out, because I need a new refrigerator.
Look at her refrigerator, how organized this is.
So, I mean, there's like no organization other than the fact that I had to label everything. So we always know where to put things, like our half and half, my beer, my eggs,
you gotta have
the fizzy water, my cheese.
Wow.
And then like where the dairy goes, like, you know, cream, all my condiments.
Oh my.
Leftovers.
Everything's labeled.
Organization class. We all need a label maker.
This is just tape, girl. I don't know label maker. This is my writing.
Leftovers. Yes, leftovers. Look at the butternut squash soup.
Okay, so then you always should have your proteins on the bottom shelf, and that's where the beef goes. That's where the chicken goes, and that's where my deli meats go. And then I got my herbs and greens and heavy veggies like carrots, celery, and some other stuff. So folks, help a sister out, because I need more room in there.
Mama needs a brand new fridge.
Mama needs a brand new fridge,
We'll
KitchenAid.
start a GoFundMe page for you.
No, I don't need a GoFundMe. Just, the sponsorship would be great from KitchenAid or whatever.
No,
Anyways,
I want a KitchenAid sponsorship too. I want one of those big ones.
I will pimp it out. I will pimp out that refrigerator.
I'm getting a new KitchenAid refrigerator. It comes with my new house.
See?
Yeah. You're gonna have to come do cooking shows at my house, Maribel. We're gonna have to have you come in on Fridays.
Yeah.
Oh.
That'd be so fun.
We need to have her come in for your media mastery when we have it at your house. She can be a chef.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I was gonna see if I could find a photo of my new refrigerator, which it's bigger than I am. Like I could live in it. Like it is. It's yeah. I'm like I don't even know how I can reach it. Right? Like all this stuff in there. It is.
Yeah,
it's bigger than I am.
Everything that I think people get scared of taking classes from a chef, but it's really not. I'm not doing anything fancy. It's about cooking practically for the home chef, for the home cook. Nice.
Let's see it. Let's see this picture of your new refrigerator that you're going to get with your new dream house.
I don't know. Can you see that?
Yes, I can. Yeah, I've been looking. So on my Instagram, I show what I did and stuff. And so honestly, I do label everything because these are the things that you learn in the kitchen to keep everything not expired. I don't want to poison myself or anybody else in my household. And it keeps you on check because you forget within a week, when did I make that? Yeah, you don't know unless you have a date. And I just use, here's a tip. I use painter's tape.
Oh.
And because then it just comes right off. You don't have to worry about the residue.
I don't have to worry about the residue, but this is the chef tip. This is what we use in the kitchens. So we label everything. It's very affordable instead of fancy labels.
There you go. You heard it first on the Angel and Tina Morning Show.
Except I got a nice feminine purple, and I was like, "That's for me," because it's usually blue, but they come in all different colors. So,
Maribel, you can come and cook in my kitchen anytime.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Hopefully,
stay in my room, Maribel, because I have a room at her house, so you can stay in my room while you're there.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
We will be closing. So we have a closing date of February 8th. But they told us we might close early. We might close next week. So that'll be amazing. Right?
That's exciting.
Although I think I'm a little anxious about that because I have not slept, I've not had a good night's sleep since they told us that. I've got so much to do now.
Well, because you have no furniture.
I have no furniture. I'm hosting the Media Mastery Bootcamp next weekend. 1 week from today is our Media Mastery Bootcamp for 2021. I've got all these people who are saying, right, I need more exposure. I wish I knew. I want to publish. I want to do this. Come to the Media Mastery Bootcamp. Let us show you everything that you need to get yourself out there. It is the most comprehensive 3 days.
Doesn't it feel like your plans. We've been waiting for this Media Mastery Bootcamp forever? You're like, okay, their next one, in September was the last one. And we're like, okay, the next one is in February. That seems like a long far away. And now, boom, it's here.
It's here because January just flew by, right? And it is. So don't miss it because you're going to feel when's the next one? And I'll just wait.
So it's all virtual, right?
It is. It is.
Okay.
The last one was live. This is so crazy, Maribel. We did our last boot camp live here in Orlando.
Nice.
We hosted it here in Orlando. We did a VIP day. We went to Epcot to do our lifestyle photos.
In fact, I just sent you a video of.
And Tina showed me a video this morning. Yeah. So it was a year ago we were live, and I know we're not going to be live this time, but I don't know. I'm ready. I'm ready for the next boot camp, and I'm so motivated. I'm just yeah. So anyways, it's next weekend. If you guys are interested, go to makeyourbigimpact.com, grab my complimentary media starter kit. The Media Mastery Bootcamp it starts with a 3-day event, but it's a full year of support, a full year. It's not just we throw you in for 3 days and then you're out. We give you an entire year of support behind that bootcamp. So check it out at makeyourbigimpact.com.
I think it's a great idea.
I
No, it is,
loved
yeah,
it. That's how I got my first book published and hit bestseller. That's how I got my second book published and hit bestseller.
yeah, the folks that came, like what they've all done, if you look at the group picture and where they've all been this year, I'm just like a little proud little mama. Look at all my little
Yeah.
ducklings in a row.
And we all graduated. I am Tina Torres, your client retention expert, otherwise known as the gratitude specialist. And if you're struggling with attracting the right clients online or knowing how to connect to them, or even if you just don't know how to convert them into clients, I have a complimentary guide that'll help you grow your audience organically online and offline. Learn how to connect and nurture those relationships authentically, and then take those relationships and turn them into paying clients. You can grab that guide if you text the word connection to 26786. That is the word connection to 26786. You can still grab your book, Beyond Gratitude. It's $5 on Amazon. I believe the price is going up February 1st, which is Monday. But you can still grab it. Go to beyondgratitudebook.com. The stories that I am getting back, I was just on the phone this morning with somebody who was like, you broke down them so easily. I'm able to comprehend. I'm starting to implement them. That is what I wanted, and I'm so grateful. But we are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, where we come to you live every weekday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. We hope you guys have a fabulous weekend because it's a Friday. We will see you guys on Monday, February 1st. Have a great day, guys.